Hello and welcome team. Here's the video for our reference and guidelines. Refrigeration repair. Required tools. Required tools include, but may not be limited to, the following: a vacuum pump oil, a micron gauge, a refrigeration gauge hoses, no longer than 12-inch, 304.8 millimeters, a tubing cutter, air oxygen-free dry nitrogen, with regulator set to 2, 3 psi, 0.14 to 0.2 bar. Vacuum pump. Removes moisture from a refrigeration system. Vacuum pump oil. True recommends replacing oil in your vacuum pump after each use. Micron gauge. To be used in conjunction with vacuum pump when evacuating a refrigeration system. Refrigeration gauge hose. Today, HC refrigeration system hold much less refrigerant. Shorter hoses prevent excessive loss of refrigerant. Tubing cutter. True requires all failed parts to be cut out of the system instead of unbrazing. This will prevent the possible spread of contaminants, or as a safety practice allow any refrigerant left in the system to escape. Oxygen-free dry nitrogen, with regulator set to 2 to 3 psi, 0.14, 0.2 bar. Line taps used to access the refrigeration system during diagnosis. Soap bubbles leak detector, used for leak detection. Shut-off valve, used to isolate gauges and system evacuation and charging. Start cord or appropriately sized hard start kit. VOM meter, used to diagnose compressor. Pinch-off tool, used when removing line taps or access fitting. Scale, is used to accurately weigh in OEM refrigeration charge. A -290 divided by 600 a service kit. UL approved R2 9600A refrigerant. Tested for extremely low moisture content. When accessing the system, do not remove process tube ends. Use temporary bolt-on. Access valves for diagnosing and repair. During the diagnosis and repair of a refrigeration system, the introduction to the refrigeration system of anything other than a flushing agent, oxygen-free dry nitrogen, refrigerant, or oil is prohibited. During leak checking procedure, any oxygen-free dry nitrogen added should not exceed 200 psi, 13.8 bar. If changing a component, keep the system closed with plugs or caps to reduce moisture contamination. Recover the refrigerant from the system. An HC leak detector should be used when releasing refrigerant from a system to assure refrigerant is safely dissipated, and when leak checking the refrigeration system. Remove the faulty refrigeration component and filter dryer by cutting them out with a tubing cutter. Look at the filter dryer and the removed components for signs of oil breakdown, foreign objects like desiccant from the dryer, metal pieces from valves, etc. Note: The green substance is a sign of moisture contamination in the refrigeration system. Be sure and test the oil from the refrigeration system for contamination using the proper test kit for the type of oil. If or when replacing a compressor, be sure to remove all the old oil from a system. While purging oxygen-free dry nitrogen through the system, drill an approximately 1/8, 3.18 millimeters, hole in the bottom of the accumulator, if equipped, so we do not leave contaminated oil in the system. After blowing this out with oxygen-free dry nitrogen, be sure to braze the hole closed. If the oil shows signs of contamination, flush the system. Always replace the dryer with the exact OEM size. OEM dryer keter can be purchased from True. Before brazing, purge oxygen-free dry nitrogen 3 to 5 psi, 0.14 to 0.2 bar, for 2 minutes and continue to purge the hole. Time. You are brazing new components into the system. Place an oxygen-free dry nitrogen charge in the system to check for any leaks. The use of soap bubbles and an inspection mirror are recommended leak-checking tools to use in addition of OFDN. Release the oxygen-free dry nitrogen down to 2 psi, 0.14 bar. Change the vacuum pump oil regularly to ensure the deepest vacuum your pump is capable of. Start pulling a vacuum as soon as possible to help remove moisture. Using a micron gauge, pull down to a minimum of 500 microns. See if the system will hold 500 microns with the gauges closed and the pump switched off to test for leaks of moisture. Once the system is evacuated, weigh in the refrigerant charge listed on the interior serial label. A -290 divided by 600 can be added as a liquid or vapor. Refrigerant 134A 404A. Charge as a liquid only. Refrigerant should be charged through the high side. Test run unit to confirm proper operation. Noted: no repair is complete until the line taps have been removed.